So it now looks like both Jadon Sancho and Mason Greenwood are a bit of a problem for Ineos in terms of making a sale this summer or finding anyone that wants to buy them. We talked earlier on today regarding Jadon Sancho and how Dortmund are digging their heels in and trying to make this an extended loan. We're hearing the same thing with Getafe and Mason Greenwood now. It's getting very, very complicated in Manchester United's summer plans and what Ineos really want to do and how they want to get started. I've done some checking around today as well with a couple of journalists as well regarding the managerial situation to see where they think everything is at right now. You'll be surprised to what I actually was told in how it seems at United at the moment with that. Stay tuned for that. Get involved in the chat. We are live. This is Forever United TV. I'm Adam. Welcome along to the show, everybody. Saturday night vibes. The first games have been played. We don't need to worry about the top. We're miles away from it. It's as you were. Wins for both Arsenal and Manchester City. But more significantly for Manchester United is that big win. A injury-struck, injury-hampered Newcastle side walking all over a team that outplayed us at Old Trafford last weekend in Burnley. And going back ahead of us, as you can see on the league table at the bottom of your screen. The plot thickens and it gets harder and harder. Manchester United have a tough game on Monday. We simply cannot afford to drop points in. Forget draws. It's not good enough now. It needs to be wins. Newcastle have their pedal, well and truly to the floor. Manchester United are playing catch-up yet again. And that big crunch game in just over a week's time at home to Newcastle is looking like it's going to be a bit of a decider. That's if United can win their games. Make sure you give the video a like and make sure you are subscribed to Forever United TV if you're loving the content, guys. Get your questions, get your comments, get everything in. It's Saturday night, people. We're talking full-on football, permutations, leagues, finances. I'm going to go into detail as well about Manchester United's situation. I said earlier on today in the earlier video, I wanted to get into the finances, where we're at and what's going on with United and pretty much the outlook of what can and can't be done, especially if we make sales and if we qualify in a certain position. Like Europa League is kind of huge for United right now financially for this summer and what we can do under Ineos. So yeah, let's get into it. Hello everyone in the chat. Hope you have a fantastic day. Hope you're well and truly enjoying your bank holiday weekend if you are here in the UK and celebrating that. It's cloudy slash I don't know, it seems like there's a bit of drizzle in the air, but hey, as long as it stays dry, I think we'll take that in Manchester. We're happy with that anyway, yeah. But I hope you're all doing great and I hope you've all had a good day. Forget about the football. It's not been a good one for us so far. And we're hoping, like, by the end of the weekend, that being the end of Monday night, we are still in somewhat of a race for the Europa League. Because if we don't, then in trouble. In we go to the main topic. So Mason Greenwood is what I want to start with tonight. News has come out this evening. A lot from The Athletic, as you can see going across the bottom of your screen and in the tweet there below as well from The Athletic regarding Mason Greenwood. And that Manchester United are open still to bringing Mason Greenwood back. The situation stands, and this has gone under the radar, this by the way, but Manchester United have triggered that 1-year extension in Mason Greenwood's contract. So he is now contracted to Manchester United for another 2 seasons after this one. 2026 is when he becomes a free agent. So United have time to deal with the situation with Mason Greenwood. So, super chat in from Tom there. Everyone is invited to mine for brunch tomorrow. We're all going Tom's tomorrow. Thank you, Tom. Cheers for the super chat. But yeah, so Mason Greenwood, contract extended, triggered by United. 2 more years left, 2026. So no mad panic in terms of what we can and can't make. But why are we dragging our heels with a so-called, as you can see at the bottom of your screen there, possibility to loaning Mason Greenwood back out? Like, I want to know, I want to gauge where you're at with this Mason Greenwood. Do you feel like Ineos could possibly look to loan Mason Greenwood back out again just to add another year and calm another year down, as to like, let's let him get past his first year, see where that lies, and we've got this extension in place now. Is it worth just extending that again and actually leaving him out of the way for another year? He'll still be young and he can still come back into the team another year on. Like, where are you at with it right now? Would you be open to Mason Greenwood coming back, say, after another year's loan? Like, it's an awkward one. It really is awkward with Mason Greenwood. I've put the poll up there just to see where you guys are at. Sorry if I'm putting you in an awkward position with this, with everything that's going on. You know what I mean by it. But the reality is Ineos are looking at this with fresh eyes, according to The Athletic, and that's how we're judging it. The options are for Mason Greenwood, sell for 30 million, because that seems to be the price as what's happening if he is going to go anywhere this summer. Loan him out again, or bring him back to Manchester United. 52% are saying bring him back to Manchester United and use him again. It's crazy, isn't it? Like, everyone just wants to get on with things, it would seem. And that's fine. That is fine. I do believe we will have to deal with the backlash of it if he does come back, though. And I think we're just going to have to accept that. It's just part and parcel of what is going on right now. Anita, welcome back to the Members Club. Thank you for renewing. Ineos versus the Glazers, round 1. This is the problem we've got. And like I said in the title of this, Ineos dealing with the mess that is the Glazers and their ownership of Manchester United right now. I keep saying it, and everyone is saying that I'm trying to turn it as a negative onto the Ineos. It's not. Ineos are the ones in the right here. Ineos are the ones that are making the right moves at Manchester United. Let's get that straight right now. Jordan Hall says, funding a plane over United home game against him if he comes back. How would you feel if that was your daughter? Exactly. That's what a lot of people feel like. And this is what I think Ineos have to look into as well. They know the situation. I think, honestly, they're looking at this. It's a case of, for me, I feel like they're trying to put the football side into this and trying to ignore as much as they possibly can to sell him, personally. No, Graham, contract has been extended, mate, 2026, buddy. So another 2 years after this one for Mason Greenwood. Decision doesn't have to happen this summer. And it does look like negotiations with Getafe could be another loan. That's been reported by The Athletic, Graham. So if you are just tuning in, they are the updates right now, straight out of The Athletic, who we know can be very reliable with their reports. So, yeah, that's where we're at with Mason Greenwood's contract. The thoughts of people like Jordan there are well heard and are warranted with quite a lot of people. And the football side of it, Ineos are looking at another hurdle in terms of this summer again. We talked about Jadon Sancho this morning and Dortmund wanting to loan him back. It could be the possibility that Manchester United end up loaning Jadon Sancho and Mason Greenwood back out again to their respective clubs that they're at now on loan come next season. That is a big possibility now from reports coming out from The Athletic today. So I think that, honestly, it's I'm not saying that this is Ineos just carrying on where Manchester United left off, i.e. Manchester United never been able to sell a player or get anything for a player. It just seems that way all the time, doesn't it? But loaning both players back out again this summer is an option, and they would look into it. It's not the best because it just means that we haven't got as much money to spend in the summer. So that's the big worry in this. Like, we need them players gone. They have been a bit of a problem, and it gives us that option. It really does give us better options in the summer to bring in better players. So and I'll explain how the financial side of things work then, but in terms of the Mason Greenwood situation, the poll, and yeah, Graham, like, we've got so many players going into the last year of their contracts. You can say 2 years left and it needs to be made now. Yeah, in a normal world, you're right, but this isn't normal. This is Ineos taking over and having their first season dealing with an absolute melee. So, yeah, it's not the norm right now for Manchester United. In 2 years, I feel like this is how Man United will be operating. Yeah, 2 years left in a contract. Let's get this deal done and settled, but this isn't what's happening with United right now. It's a completely different world. So, Sancho, Greenwood, both still being Manchester United players next season, but not playing for Manchester United, could be a real outcome. I personally feel like they are just going to take anything around 30 million for Greenwood and get him gone. Like, as much as this is a reality and it could happen, the better outcome for Ineos is to have Mason Greenwood off the books and out of Manchester United. They've triggered this deal, which has got everyone talking now, and this is why The Athletic are reporting it. So this has come from United, the actual extra year for Mason Greenwood. That's their decision, and what they want to do with it, we don't know. We're guessing at the moment, but you can only think that they have got plans to maybe drag this out a little bit longer. Maybe Mason Greenwood has another fantastic season, even better. Now he's found his feet, and his value goes up even more. That's all I can look at. Like, the only reason behind it is that for me. But I'm still not convinced by it. And I just think, look, if a bid of around 30 comes in, just take it. Let's just get this done and dusted and move past it, because it's not helping anyone. It's not helping the player. It's not helping the football club. It's not helping us progress forward. It's not helping Ten Hag or whoever the manager is going to be. It's just making things 20 times worse, I feel. But they have got a lot to deal with. And I will give them leeway for this summer alone, Ineos, in terms of sorting everything out. It's a difficult one. They are going to be struggling constantly all this summer with everything that's in line and what's in the way, like the Euros and everything like that. And these issues with Sancho and Mason Greenwood and getting this done are just another thing added to it. It's massive, massive concern for the football club right now. I mean, I'll read out what has actually been said in The Athletic. Manchester United and Getafe have begun talks regarding the possibility of a new loan deal for Mason Greenwood. United would prefer to secure a permanent move for him, but a loan offer would also be considered if an acceptable fee is received. Bit concerning on that, and the replies are completely mixed regarding Mason Greenwood on this. Again, you can expect the abuse that's come along with that tweet, and you can expect the other side of it with people saying they just want him back. Why don't we use him? Let's forget about everything. Honestly, I said it before. I just think sell him, get the issue gone, and move forward. There's no way that we can turn this around and be comfortable. You can never please anyone in life, and you cannot go out there trying to make everyone happy with whatever decisions you make. But this one, I just feel there's an obvious answer. There's an obvious answer to make this a simple process, and I don't think we're going down the right avenues at the moment with it. The possibility of Mason Greenwood being integrated into Manchester United's first team squad this summer is also not being ruled out. Now that is where it's going to start kicking off a little bit. It's an awkward one, we know, but he holds value. So he does and will play a big part in our summer, Mason Greenwood. In one way or the other, he's going to be what? He's going to be headlines. He has to be headlines this summer, because it's just awkward because of everything that's gone past. Like, you cannot say that this is going to be an easy integration back in. And I just think Ineos will avoid it in the end and make the sensible decision. And like Graham said there, it does need to be moved forward as quick as possible. I just know with United and the way that we've triggered that deal, I can actually see him going back on loan to Getafe. What does this mean to the finances? I mean, that's the biggest thing out of all of this. So when you look at it, and it was a great sort of thread this morning from Swedish Ramble, who's a great account who goes into detail on a lot of football content on X. And it reads like this: in terms of Manchester United and their finances. So he breaks it down this way: financial fair play playing the role that it is and hampering everybody, obviously, with the rules. They're ever-changing rules as well. And in next season, 25, going into 2025, these rules are all going to change again. But as it stands at the moment, Manchester United spending ability broken down with financial fair play taken into consideration. And this is where, when I see 100 million to be spent, like, it's not 100 million to be spent in reality. It's not. Them headlines are sort of put out there, I feel, to just put out the fires of Ineos and how much they're going to be spending on players trying to do this complete rebuild. They're just trying to put them out, I feel. But if United qualify for the Champions League, the way that the finances are, after the results that came out after the last annual reports, and what Manchester United's position is in the league, they read as such. If we got in the Champions League, obviously we don't, it would be around about 350 million. If we got into the Europa League, it's 250 million, and this is without player sales, by the way. The Conference League, Europa Conference League, 150 million. Completely out of Europe, 225 million. Now, the only reason it's 225 million, and it's less. It's more than what it would be for being in the Conference League, is because we wouldn't have to adhere to financial fair play to UEFA because we're not in any UEFA competitions. So that would give us a little bit more leeway with their rules. Because let's not forget, United are dealing with PSR and financial fair play. And both of them together it's a bit of a minefield for the bigger clubs, or the ones that are in Europe. If you're out of Europe, you've only got PSR. And for United and their financial reports and what is going on right now with their position, it will be 225 million. So only 25 million less than actually qualifying in Europa League. So it spells out realistically that Manchester United, if we don't get 6 ahead of Newcastle, then we really should just... We cannot just lose games, and United obviously have to go out and try and win games. But if we did have a catastrophe to the end of the season, it wouldn't be the end of the world financially for the summer, is what we're saying. 225 million. If you sell Mason Greenwood and Jadon Sancho this summer, and that adds to it, then United can spend significant amounts of money. It does help a lot. I mean, for instance, it doesn't come down to the actual transfer fee. If you wanted to buy a player for 100 million, put him on a 5-year contract, which is worth £200,000 a week, it equates to £30 million a year in total. And that's how financial fair play's books are balanced. So effectively, if we're out of Europe completely, we could buy 2 £100 million players on a 5-year deal. We're not going to do that. So use the sums there. And 100 million on a 5-year deal is 200k a week. I've seen this before on loads of reports, so this is pretty much bang on in how football finances work. Use them sums there as a top marker. United are not going to buy anyone for 100 million. And you're probably looking at United not spending 200k a week in wages anymore, going off what players we're looking to get rid of because of what they're earning now, if that makes sense. So think how many players United can buy this summer, going off them reports. Now, the account Swedish Ramble doesn't do things by half. He goes in depth, and he's very, very well clued up, using the likes of Kieran Maguire, football finance expert as well. And I've seen this before, and he's just gone through it in a little bit more detail to try and break it down and make it easy for people. And it is pretty much bang on. And they've used the figures that have been released by the club and financial fair play rules to calculate this. So that's what it is, and that's what it means. We're not in a horrendous position. The only problem we've got is because we've run at a loss, it would mean using money that we've got in our revolving credit facility. So the money that we can spend here, the 250, the 150 or the 225, if we're out of Europe, is by using the revolving credit facility as well, because that is allowed within the boundaries of financial fair play. He does make the good point here, like a lot of other finance experts have done. It's whether Ineos want to use that, because it's not financially sustainable in the future or in the long term. Do they chance it in the first season, in the first summer, with such a rebuild needed, and then try and offset some of that later and repay that back later through the years with us being a bit more successful? It's a gamble. My guess is we'll probably be looking at this and trying to balance it out a little bit and go somewhere in between, if anything. So yeah, it's absolutely crazy. It's a bit of a minefield, but you can see how selling players would definitely benefit United spending this summer. And the way that football works and the amount of money that's spent, it isn't all spent in one summer. So when someone says that we've spent 400 million, we haven't yet, because we haven't made all the payments on them fees. Like, so 70 million pound player United bought, say Antony, for 85 million. We still haven't paid all of that. So we haven't spent 85 million, if that makes sense. That's how you have to look at it. It's spread over the term of the contracts, including the wages and everything else, the agents' fees and that. And that's why financial fair play works that way, and why you're hearing about them caps on players' wages, agents' fees and everything like that coming in. Complicated, boring, but very, very important for United in this summer, and especially to Ineos. So, with all that in mind, where can United go in the transfer market? Who can we buy? Who are the targets that you want? Guys, Let me know some names in the chat as well, guys. I want to know who you think is a good target for United. Using them finances and what's available out there. There are a few free transfers out there right now. I'm going to roll through the guys that are actually on free transfers and see what you think of them as well. I'm going to come into the chat and everything that I've just been talking about. Picnic says, I understand morals, but would it be moral to abandon a young man if it was your son, brother, grandson, nephew, cousin, child, or friend? This one would obviously kick off a lot of problems with this subject. I understand that. Hopefully we can keep it down to finances and football matters. Adam, I tend to agree with you, hard as it is, but you as always say what you think, and we are all entitled to our opinions. Thank you, Christine. It's exactly what it should be. Jordan said he should be jailed. Guess, Cars, Richard, Roddy Gray. Hello to you as well, Louise. Hope you're doing well. If it meant that much to you, Jordan, you wouldn't want him playing for anyone. Judge and Jury says, yep, this is like every time, and this is where I think you need to balance the argument, is that you mention the name of Mason Greenwood, and this is what happens. So Ineos, I feel, will just sell Mason Greenwood because they do not want to set this tone within the football club. If they're looking to start a new culture and turn a new page at Manchester United, then I think they will stay away from this subject completely. I think that all they're doing right now is just testing the water and giving themselves a little bit of time and maybe extending that deal for Mason Greenwood. Like, we can make money off him. It's just not going to be that much. Jordan says, Tifo, I have some lovely changes coming soon. The guys are amazing, especially for a small team. Jordan, love that. Yes, they are. Guys, if you are part of the Tifo team and you are a member, please do jump across. You can now make your profiles, add your pictures to your profiles and everything as well. So if you are part of the Tifo team, you can get that. We are live doing a watch along for the Crystal Palace game over on Tifo, so make sure you get onto that as well, everyone. You would have had an email as well, actually, telling you about them changes. If we get Elise, I will get angry, says Rajat. Oh, Johnny Cardoso for defensive, number 6, says Agile Beast. Musiala is a gem, but would be 150 million. Ineos are not going to do that. No, I think we discussed that. Definitely. Hello to you as well, Babs. Hope you're well. I will get Wirtz and Musiala. Crazy good. It's you know what? It's like we're not going to be able to buy that type of player. Musiala needs Champions League football. He's not going to come to United, I don't think. I mean, if Ineos managed to get someone like that, then I will be impressed. I'll be very impressed. I just cannot see it happening. There's not a chance that they will be able to convince a player that's playing at the highest level now in the Champions League to come to Manchester United, away from his national country as well, to do that. I just don't see it. I don't. Please give the video a like, guys. Fantastic stuff already. Already creeping up to the 100 like marks. Please give the video a like. Download our SofaScore app, best football app out there. Bottom right corner is your QR code. I'll drop in the link. You will see drop in the description is links to all of our partners and sponsors in the chat, all benefiting you guys, including Optimally Me there on the left hand side. Scan that QR code to get your medical tests, blood results, waters, everything tested that you could without the stress of going to the doctors, bringing that to your home with test results coming within 48 hours. You cannot get that anywhere else. Get onto it, guys. See what they've got. Very cheap. Use the QR code as well for the discount, and just feel relaxed and comfortable in your own home at checking things that can be very, very stressful. Get onto it, guys. I promise you will not be disappointed. I've done it myself. 20-year-old, give them time to grow, says Jordan, in terms of players to buy. I'm going to go through. Actually, let's get these few comments done now, guys. Elise will be on show on Monday night. Watch him have the game of his life evening, Adam. Henry, I know. I was hoping not to mention him because he's going to play against us. and he usually does all right against us as well. I still have visions of that ball going in last season when we were 1-0 up until the last bleeding minute, and he just smashes in that free kick. I've still got them horrible visions in my head of that one. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to watching him play. As if he impresses, it's bad for us. It's like I said, I like the player. I wouldn't mind him at Manchester United, but do I want to spend that much money on him with the budget we've got, knowing that we've already got wide players with that injury record? I'm sort of like moving away the more and more I talk about Elise from going for that deal, but we're not in control, are we? We spoke about that already. So in terms of what Man United can do in the transfer window, I'm just going to roll off some names to you guys. In terms of free transfers, right? There's so many players that are out of contract in the summer. Here's one that I think you'll like. Kylian Mbappe's out of contract in the summer. Should we sign him? That's a good one. Can't believe someone like Mbappe is out of contract. Man, that guy has played the right card on PSG. Adrien Rabiot. Now there's a player that we know all too well. Like, remember Murto going negotiating with his mum and walking back out with his tail between his legs back onto the plane to Manchester? Oh, God, but it's like we've been linked with this guy for about 3 summers in a row now. He's officially on a free transfer now, so no fee needed to be agreed. He can talk to anyone he wants. Can United get him in on a cheap wage? I doubt it very much. This is his last big contract, and you know what hurdles we've had before with Rabiot. And I think we'll have him again. Like, he'll be looking for the big sell-on. He'll be looking for the big wage. I just don't think United are going to go near that again. He's 29 now. There's no sell-on factor with him. I know he's free, but it's not the profile of player I think Ineos will be looking at. I mean, you guys tell me. Would you be interested in bringing Rabiot in at 29? It's a no for me. He's on a free transfer. Like, a lot of people will be looking into him. Rabiot on 40k a week or sod off. 40k, God. No, says Stu. Andrew Short, Rabiot is too old. Don't want him. No to Rabiot. Rabiot, okay deal, says Rajat. Bring back Chris Eagles, said Lilies United. Jordan says, can't wait to get De Gea back. He's free. Make an Anna number 2 and learn from him. Rabiot's mum wants 500k a week. How Mbappe already going to Real Madrid, dude? I know that, mate. I'm only joking about bloody Mbappe. As if he would come to United. Come on, you know me better than that now. No radio, it says Gray, meaning Rabiot. Okay, who else is on this list? Let's have a dive in. Anyone else that we actually know? Varane's on a free. 31, he's on the list. Guido Rodriguez from Real Betis. Come up against him before. Defensive midfielder, not good enough for United. Scrolling down the list, who's there? There's an old one. Bloody hell. Wilfred Ndidi. Remember when he used to be the... Oh, God, he was touted as one of the best, wasn't he? Like, one of Leicester's best and destined to be like the Kante, the next Kante coming out of Leicester. Like, wow, what a fall that guy's had. I was actually keen on Ndidi at one point back in the day. I think while Ollie was there in charge of United, that's when he was at his heyday. Was. Che Adams? Nah, not for me. There's that Tosin Adarabioyo. Now, that's the Fulham centre-back. Adarabioyo is 26, free transfer. United need a centre-back. He's now looking at, like, according to reports, 90% certain to be going to Newcastle. Newcastle well and truly down the line with negotiations with Fulham there. And with their financial situation, I think that's a no-brainer for them as well. It's a good buy. It's not... Honestly, it's not a will beating, but 26, he's just about inside that age profile, I would say, where you'd look at him and go, yeah, but I'm not convinced. Good for a squad player on a cheap wage, maybe. I think Newcastle are offering him game time. That's part of the deal why he would want to go there. Something that United cannot offer, I'm afraid. he's not going to get in ahead of the centre-backs that are going to be at United next season, I don't think, right now. And is that the type of player we should be looking at? I mean, it's a squad player, and he's free. So, what would you say? I've seen some names popping up there in the chat in terms of players that United could go and buy. Like, there are going to be some big money players. Like, you've got to then look at, I think, players that are probably not in Europe. I've also looked like they've been keen to move from that particular club before. Like, you could always go back in for the likes of Paulinho, like back in for him, like we were ever in for him. But that type of player, I think, is a good buy for Manchester United. From Fulham, it is an upgrade for him. There is the chance of getting him at decent wages. He is proven in the Premier League, and you could actually make weight that deal with Scott McTominay and take something off it. But would United do that? I don't know. Would United actually get rid of another midfielder, subsidise another one coming in? I'm not convinced. I don't think United would go down that road again. Make waiting players, but you don't know. If United have got that money that we're talking about, then we should be going in for the likes of Paulinho's and people like this. Stephanie says, tossing, now you are talking, hijack the Geordie deal with Ashworth. Yeah, would we get in trouble because Newcastle are actually going in for him? And obviously, that's the point that Newcastle were making with the standoff with United. Like, take all of the targets off the table that Newcastle had as part of a deal for Ashworth going to Manchester United. I don't know. But on the Ashworth side of things, I'm sure you've seen in the news or in reports as well, guys, that Manchester United, Ineos are covering all legal fees in the arbitration for Dan Ashworth to come to Manchester United. So, yeah, I think it's a case of he is going to be in situ. I think they're looking to have this done by the end of the month, according to reports. How it works, I don't know. I don't know enough of how this arbitration style thing works. It's basically like, I think, what Sir Jim Ratcliffe was saying in terms of, like, just get this guy back into work. Like, why are people holding him back from doing his job? Like, I think it's, I don't know, like I said, but I can only guess that is the avenue that they're going down. So, yeah, let's look at that and go, hopefully we can get him in. And do you know what? That, I think, is the final piece in the jigsaw regarding the setup, the regime, the structure, everything that Ineos are looking to build. Like, Ineos have done so much good work, and I'm still not having anyone shooting them down just yet. There's nothing has been proven yet in terms of Ineos and the results that they can bring. But for what they can do, they have gone above and beyond, in my opinion. And Dan Ashworth coming in with everyone else. We've seen pictures of Wilcox watching the under-18s game today, already in working alongside what looked like Darren Fletcher there on the sidelines. I love that picture. I love that look for United. Football people in football jobs, doing the best in class, and they will hopefully benefit from that. Arbitration is usually slow, says Babs. Yeah, this one they're looking to turn around in 3 weeks, according to The Athletic, when I read the report, Babs. Maybe it's a bit simpler. I don't know. Maybe money talks and they get it through quicker. More than likely the outcome in all of that. But yeah, I look at it and I go, for years Manchester United fans have been moaning about getting the structure right. It's happening. It's from the top down. Like, it's rotten from the top down. Well, we've gone to the top and we've changed that. And everything from that spot has changed all the way down, and by the time the season ends, we should be just at the manager. Now, Ten Hag, I've been, like I said at the start of the show, I've been asking around. I've asked a couple of journalists today, like, what's happening with Tuchel, where are we at with Ten Hag? Is this really been this charm offensive from Sky this week with United and trying to make people think that Ten Hag has been hard done to, more so than other managers of the past? I didn't agree with it. I think he has had a lot more backing from Manchester United, Ten Hag, than other managers. But their words worth, they don't think that Ineos have still got a plan for the manager. They don't. If the way they broke it down was, if they had a man in mind, we would probably know about it. And at the moment, as it is, with nothing concrete coming out, apart from the obvious reports that Tuchel would speak to United, Ten Hag is on a short list for Bayern Munich and their manager, and a couple of others as well. That's all we've got to run off. So you've got to look at it and go, if they haven't got a plan, then it's going to be Ten Hag. Like, do they want everything else in place before they look at the manager? Is this why we're now going down arbitration for Dan Ashworth, just to get this deal over the line so everything else is dealt with and everything else is in place for the manager? And that big decision. That's number one. That's what Manchester United need to be sorting out going into the next season. For the players' sake, for the manager's sake, for the club, the supporters, everything. I think that's the big one. Do they want everything in place before they make that decision? Have they been talking already behind the scenes about the new manager? Have they got a shortlist? And when Dan Ashworth is official and everybody is in place, do they then make that decision? I cannot see Ten Hag being let go halfway through the summer. If Ten Hag is going to be sacked, then it's going to happen I think it's going to happen in the next month, i.e. the end of the season. I think we'll know after the cup final. If it goes a week and we don't hear anything, fully expect Ten Hag to be on that pre-season tour going to America in July, and that's how United are moving forward. Ten Hag will be in situ at Manchester United next season. There's no way that they're going to change it. It has to be this month, May. Otherwise, we can expect to see Ten Hag. I think that's it. Like, they would know already. If they have got a plan, it will come out as soon as the FA Cup final whistle has gone. Pretty similar to Van Gaal. I don't think it will be like Van Gaal, as cutthroat as that. That was bad, but I do believe that it's going to be within the next few days after that final. Personally, just when I'm setting off on holiday, I can actually see me getting off the plane and going live, talking about Erik ten Hag being sacked, or confirmation that Erik ten Hag has been given a new contract, or the vote of confidence from Ineos, and he is the manager at the start of the season. What you guys think about that, I do not know, but let me know in the chat anyway. But I think this is where it's going with it at the moment. 100 likes in the bag, guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Make sure you keep sharing the video as well. Subscribe to the channel. We'll be back tomorrow with the paper round, going through the morning papers. That should be interesting with everything that's going on right now. And it'll be nice doing the paper round actually before a game. And the next episode 3 of United Couple, will be out on Monday as well, just as we kick off in that Crystal Palace game, which will be interesting. So, yeah. I'll be talking about the football before it's actually happened for a change this weekend. Monday Night Football is really weird. It is. Barbara says, where are you going on holidays, Adam? Somewhere hot? Yes, we're off to the Caribbean. We're off to the Dominican Republic 2 days after the FA Cup final, in fact. So, yeah, prepare yourselves for some Caribbean live streams. Let's just say that. Palm trees and everything. Even put a cocktail in there for you. So the paper round will be with a pina colada instead of a cup of coffee in an FUTV mug. Another season with Erik ten Hag. Shoot me now, says Tontine. Ten Hag next season is worse. I know what you're saying, guys. I know, but you just got to read the room and how everything is going at the moment. I think we would have heard more, unless they are playing full-on stealth mode. Like, they don't have to say anything. It could be a conversation between Jean-Claude Blanc, Omar Barada, Sir Jim Radcliffe, Sir David Brailsford, Will Cox, Dan Ashworth already. That conversation could have easily been had. Like, you don't know what they were discussing at the Ivy when they were out in Manchester the other day, them three, Jean-Claude Blanc, Brailsford and Sir Jim Radcliffe. It may have been about them, man. They could have been talking about anything. Like, they've already told the staff what they expect. And I feel like they would have had an idea what they want to do with the manager going forward. It just worries me that they haven't been at a big club before and they're just going to test the water with Ten Hag. It's a risky ploy. But I think they will look at it as well. And if Ten Hag stays, they'll appease the majority of the fan base by giving him a chance. And what happens from there, Ineos really can't go wrong with. They'll say, look, we gave him a chance. Everyone has been saying no manager's had a chance at United. We've backed him. We give him another year. He's had longer than any manager post Sir Alex Ferguson. What more do you want? If he hasn't done it, then Ineos will get away with it, really. I mean, some people will hold it against him and say, look, you should have made that decision then. But I think the way it's going at the moment, with all of the charm offensive, like I said, from Gary Neville and Sky and things like that, and everyone then jumping on that bandwagon this week, come on. Yeah. Adam, have you had the 151 rum? I don't think I have. I'll try a few ones out for you there. I'll try and get a different drink every stream while we're away. We're going to carry on the live shows while we're away, guys. Don't you worry. We're all over it. We've got it all sussed out for you. You can get a different backdrop maybe every night. But hey, it's what it is. You got to work. You got to put the work in. No rest. No rest at all. Guys, that pretty much finishes everything up news-wise. There isn't much. It's what it's like when United play late on the weekend. There's not much to talk about, and this is why Ten Hag has done that press conference so early, so he can fully concentrate on getting his team ready. There's no other news going on. No embargo press conference or anything like that. It's just try and quash all of the noise and bad negative noises and rumours coming out, and let's just concentrate on the football. But that is it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in this Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy tomorrow. Hopefully you're out and about. I'll see you in the morning for the paper round. Special croissant tomorrow as well, guys. Kaz has gone out and spent some money on a bit of a posh one. All will be revealed in the morning on the paper round. But for now, that is us finished. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Like I said, give the video a like on your way out. Thank you very much, guys. And